The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 23rd day of November, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lenders. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry.
Yes, this wasn't how this was supposed to go. But anyway.
Oh, sorry. Just using you as my mirror this morning. But Sherry.
Yes, Jamal.
It's your Friday.
It is my Friday. I am not working after the show. So, I woke up this morning. I was like, why tell Jamal I could do today? So I could sleep in.
She really,
but that's okay.
That asked every day, like, why did I tell him I'll show up today? Like, that's just how she don't, that's what she does.
But I said, no, I'm going to go see Jamal and have a good old chat with him.
Tell him about it.
It was a dream, and then I woke up, and I was like, oh, it's going to be real.
I just don't understand, what I've done to deserve such. I mean, I just...
Have you watched some of these episodes before? Like, you go back and watch them, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, then you should know.
Good morning, Aunt Karen.
Hi, Aunt Karen.
No,
my earpiece is coming over.
Speaking to me, Sherry. Anyway, look, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. We have another good one today. We're welcoming Camille Creary to this show. We're discussing the second part of the Murder in Paradise series. The daily play is more holiday trivia. But I'm looking forward to the conversation with Ms. Creary because all of us were very much tuned into the first part of this series. Watched it, we discussed it, and I think having a second part means that a conversation was not just had and it died, right? It's a continuation. So looking forward to that. But since this is the final episode of the week, folks, this is the final show of the week. Again, we're getting a couple of days off. I know you all are saying you just took 2 days off 2 weeks ago. Folks, these guys need rest, man. They need rest. See how I'm putting it on there, right? I'm putting it on there.
Jamal needs rest. We all do. He won't tell you, but he does a little concealer under her to take the bags out or the circles out. But I'll let you guys know. So he needs to rest so he doesn't have to.
That's what happens though. What's concealer? It's makeup.
You know what it is, Jamal. But yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. That's bad. I'm not getting a rest, folks. I'm gonna be up early. I'm been up watching the games anyway. You know what, Sherry? You know what's interesting, Sherry? Like, I actually went 2 miles this morning, right? But trying to jog and watch a game is not safe.
Jamal, you're like smart enough to know that. Why didn't you just listening to it is just not it?
Well, that's the thing. You're trying to listen, but then the commentators sell you. They they got all hype, and I thought I knew my route enough. I thought I knew my route enough not to kind of go off. But I almost had an accident this morning, folks. But thankfully, I don't have any Sancha rash on my legs. I mean, root rash like Sancha did on her leg. But
wow, and we're not supposed to talk about your concealer. Okay. Sancha, don't worry. I'm got you, doll.
Whatever concealer is, I guess Barry showing us what that is. You know what? Since it's our last show before a quick break, right? I want Maya to come in. I've got something for you guys.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I've got a surprise for you both. Maya,
I'm scared. I don't know about Maya, but I'm scared.
Okay.
you haven't had a Jamal joke in a while. You haven't had.
Where's my button to come out? I don't have a button.
So can
I have a button.
I give you a Jamal joke? What?
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Anyway, here's your joke of the morning, folks. This should pick me up. All right. I hope I haven't done this one already. What's the first thing Santa's elves learn in school?
In school, Santa's elves learn in school. Fa la 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 la. I don't know.
The first thing Santa's elves learn in school
Wrap
is
a
the
present.
alphabet. Stop. Calm down.
We did stop, and we are very calm.
That was hilarious.
Jamal! You laughed when you read that the first time in it, like you slapped your knee, like you were.
You know what? I ain't telling you guys any more jokes until next week. Yep, not telling you any more jokes till next week.
Thank
Now,
you.
let's get serious.
Okay.
So, there's a young lady, and she's I believe 21, young. I don't know if she's white, Portuguese, but there's a thank you, Charles Jefferson II. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Appreciate you. Charles says that actually was funny. Thank you.
I saw that, and sometimes I question Charles's judgment.
Yeah. It happens. But there's a young lady, I guess she wrote a column, and I read part of the column, and it was basically a response to the PLP's throne speech, right? And I don't think there was much wrong with what she said. But I think people are looking for solutions. You know, we always say the purpose of this show, every conversation we have on this show, every episode of this show, that people who watch this show should be able to take something away from it.
Yeah.
Like legit, no matter what we're talking about, people should be able to take something away from this show. Anyway, there was a bit of criticism for this young lady. And, you know, I stay out of stuff on Twitter as much as I can, unless it's football related. I just observe when, you know, young people go at it, especially over the politics of the day. And the reason I stay out of it really is because I've been there. Like, I haven't just talked about it. I've been a delegate. I've been, you know, I fought against the government. I've been in that space. So my opinions are not just based on reading something and from the outside. They come from having been in there. But this young lady was challenged by Miss Salters, who ran for the FDN, right? She was kind of challenged, like, look, you know, enough talk, that wordy solutions, whatnot. And her response was basically, Google me. I've been a part of this. I've been a part of that. I've been a this and that. Well, I remember saying something as arrogant to a lady some years ago, and she's a wife now, but she didn't give me another date for 18 months, right? But I say that. Oh, true story. But I say that because here's the issue with this young lady, 21. First problem is, it's something that I think David Burt's of the world and his crew, like the PLP, forget. It's something I think the OBA forgot when they were the government. And that's, you're there to answer to people. You're there to serve people. Mm-hmm. Despite what you actually do, which is serve your own interest, but that'll cost you on another day. Madam, if you decide to run for office, I don't care if you're 21 or 41, nobody should have to Google you. And I think that's the biggest problem, when you keep seeing people pop up, the OBA chairman or OBA this, OBA that. Nobody can't relate to you. They don't know you. Oh, you're a part of the alt Bermuda. Well, I was part of Bermudians Against the Draft. And guess what? Not like we wanted to, but we were in the media almost every day. So people knew who each of us was, right? Nobody had to Google us. So to tell someone to Google you is so unbecoming because, again, you need their vote, folks. You need their support.
It's a 21-year-old response.
A 21-year-old response, I tell you
Mhm.
what, Ryan Robinson, parent chief, wouldn't have responded like that.
It is.
I tell you what, I don't think age is an excuse
I
because
don't say it's an excuse.
I'm
It
gonna
just
use,
is.
but Ryan Robinson, parent chief, wouldn't have responded like that. I don't think he,
Mhm.
and I think it shows the rawness. Ryan Robinson, parent chief, and I'm not putting him on a pedestal, but he gets it, right? He's literally put his face out there. He's doing the work, right? He's out there making a difference, changes. You even have the young ladies of Bermuda Youth Connect. They're out there. They're doing something. People know who they are. They don't have to say, Google me. So after all of that, folks, here's the question of the morning. What do you look for in a political candidate? Because I'm going to tell you what, I don't like the resume building. I don't like sharing when they know I'm a part of this group and I was a mentor here and I coach here and I'm a Gumby here and I'm a prep. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They go out, they build these political resumes. And I'm just like, this is why we need more activists, not charitable idiots in politics. Because charitable idiots are building a resume for themselves. They're not really out there positioning, they're out there positioning themselves for growth. They're not out there really doing what's in the best interest of people. So what do you look for in a political candidate, folks? What do you expect of your political candidate? I tell you one thing, I think we can all agree, I'm going to speak for you right now, that we're not looking for someone to say, Google me.
No, I would say, Jamal, that you look for me, I love to see when people are doing stuff that aren't front and center, right? So if you're doing stuff that has nothing to do with any particular one thing, you are just doing it just because, those are the things I look for. So if you're just you're standing behind lady at the grocery store and you help to pay for her groceries, that's just something that you're doing just on a regular day. It's not something that you are then got someone, taking a video of it or anything of that nature. We just definitely need people to do things that they would do off stage as well as on stage, and more off stage than anything else, because then that's who you are. Those are your values. That's your characteristic, your character and so forth. So for me, those are the things that I would like to see. And it could be anything, but let it be consistent and transparent.
Well, I think you say something that just doesn't happen in politics, and you do it off stage, right? I don't want to say names because they don't like to, put themselves out there, but there's a certain person I know who, did quite a lot for, children who couldn't afford to buy school uniforms, right? And they did it so silently that I was asked to ask a question by them, and I asked, "Oh, why? What's that about?" "Oh, no, we try to help the children at such and such school every year." And it was so weird because other people who were building political careers were having backpack drives and all this stuff, right? So it was just so abnormal. But it almost seems disingenuous, right? When people are like, "Oh, well, I'm a part of this group. I'm doing it." Folks, I don't even put on my resume at this point, "Oh, I was a mentor in this, I donated to that, or I coached here or there." No. Why don't I put it? Because at the end of the day, I think we're living in a different time, and the work that you put in other places, that will speak for itself. People, you know what they say now? Your resume is no longer that piece of paper you submit for a job. It's everything you put on social media. Think about that.
Yeah. For me, I'm the type of person of, like, there's certain people that I've helped and they didn't ask me for any help. They didn't say anything. It's just like how I would do a check-in with you, Jamal, or you and I would talk, and they're just like, "Oh, this is going on, that." If I can afford it or if I can give, I do. I remember a friend of mine, she was down on her luck. And this probably was like 10 years ago. Lost a house, lost a job, did all these kind of things. She told me nothing. I sent her some money, Jamal. She was like that was the best thing that ever happened to her. That helped her to get started again.
Mhm.
She didn't ask for it. She didn't beg for it. And it's just what I did.
Mhm.
She has forever. She would still tell you to this day, 15 years later, what I had did for her. And I was just like, wow, it was just like, I think it was like $200 or something, but it was needed at the time. And I just think that if people just did those kind of things without having to be put on blast about it, it
Mhm.
just makes the world, the energy just keeps moving.
I agree.
Positive.
I agree. I completely agree with you. And
Mhm.
I think that's what people are looking for in politics. Like, for instance, think about this here. Think of your story. Let's say you wanted to go run, and this is what I mean. Sherry just set it up very well. Let's say you wanted to run for political office one day, Sherry. And that person who you did that good deed for
Mhm.
had the opportunity to vote for you. Not only them, but their family and friends, right? And they say, look, I'm voting for Sherry. Now people be like, well, who's Sherry? What has she done? I tell you what, you may not know, but this is what Sherry done for me. And now this is how I ended up where I am because that little help there. That's what I mean. Now, I know people will say, oh, well, that's just a few people. Everyone needs to see what you're doing, folks. The more people you do stuff like that, and it doesn't have to be money. The more
Right.
people you do stuff good things for, don't expect anything back, but it will come back around to you.
Mhm.
Like it will. And I think that's what I'm looking for in a political candidate. Let's go to the audience. We have quite a few people in the audience. What do you look for in a political candidate, folks? What are you looking for? We're talking about a young lady, 21. What's her name? Maya? Sophia. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. And I don't like to pronounce people's the last names wrong. But it's Sophia. She's a candidate for the One Bermuda Alliance. She wrote a response, which was decent. Things we already know, actually. A response to the throne speech. But in her, it became this thing on Twitter. And Ms. Soltis, who ran for the FDM in the last election, questioned her, and she went on saying, "Oh, I've been a part of Out Bermuda and this and that, and you can Google me." Now, I'm not chastising or criticizing any group that anyone's a part of. I think if you're doing the work, you're doing the work, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna compare. If you ain't been in prison for your stance, you ain't a real G, bro. I'm just saying. Dr. King went down. You know what I'm saying? Nelson Mandela went down. Bermuda's Against the Draft went down. You ain't a real G. Yes, hopping on popular trains. Come on, bruh. Anyway, I'm actually.
Yeah, you had a moment. You just had a moment.
Um, yeah, Maya. Well, why doesn't Maya just pop in? Maya says, your charity should be silent. Your activism should be loud. I'll let Maya try to pronounce her name when she comes on, because again, folks, you know me, I don't like to pronounce people's wrong. I think that's a sign of respect to get the names right. What do you look for in a political candidate? Charles H. Jeffers II, Sherry.
A candidate who's more interested in serving the people than a position or power. Very key.
Well, I mean, the Honorable former Finance Minister Curtis Dickinson did say that when he was running for leadership of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party, that one guy was fighting to keep a job, right? I don't think anyone would disagree with that, right? It's politics is a job to some people, and that job is not about serving the people. It's about maintaining your position of political power. Sam Cat Place says morality, humanitarian mindset, or action, selfless, community-driven, putting words to action. I don't think we'll ever get a selfless politician. I don't even know what that means with politics. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want words to action. That's and I want goals. And what's the end? What does the end look like? And are we meeting the goals towards that end? Well, it feels like we always have a good beginning, a weak middle, and then it's still a question mark at the end.
Well, I disagree highly. There should never be an end. I think there should be goals and then more goals. So with politics, there can't be an end because it's just things evolve, right? And so I get your point. You know how jobs thankfully we're changing this with me, but there's a norm, right? There's norms in society where we have annual goals. Well, I don't agree with annual goals, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
throughout the year things change. So I think let's relook at things every 3 months. So I think in politics, I like the 100-day stuff. Like, okay, what are we doing the first 100? Okay, I'll go to the next one. Like they have this throne speech. That's why I said when the premier came on, like you're going off a platform that's basically obsolete now, and you keep going back to that every time we're questioning.
Yeah.
Well, I tick this off, but I mean, Shara's point is valid because even if the goal is 3 months, it's still an end goal, right? I'm just
Well,
saying.
like we have a program. We have a program. We talk about the program. We outline the program, and then where's the program?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, government's changed. So, okay, we're starting with the program again. We talk about the program. Where's the program? So it just feels like that is the continuing, mindset that we keep going back and forth. And then we end up having our people and our young people still waiting for this program that we're gonna put forth. We can't send children away because we're gonna do this program. We can't do this because we're gonna do this program. We're still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 month goals would be helpful. What do you look for in a political candidate? Sean DeShield says integrity, honesty, and the ability to solve community related concerns. Carla John says, I've seen people say, Google me or check me out on LinkedIn when people question their expertise. It can be a response and faster than giving your resume. No, if you're running for politics, the whole point is okay. I don't mind the response. Let me be clear. But if you're running for politics and someone's like, who are you? That's probably on you. Like, again, I'm going to keep using Ryan Robinson, parent chief. He doesn't have to say Google me because he's put himself out there. The young ladies from, and the only reason I'm not calling their names, Veronica and Teray and all that, because it's quite a few of them, Ajay and all of them. But Bermuda Youth Connect, they've put themselves out there, right? The community knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
If you are young and you're running for politics, it actually looks bad on you saying, oh, you don't know me, Google me. No, you people should know you, player.
And Google me is a sarcastic kind of response to things. And there was a whole song, and you don't know me, Google. Like it to me comes off very snarky.
Yeah, it's a snark, and it's almost condescending in a way. I've said it, but and I've said it in that tone to mean what Sherry just explained, right?
Yeah.
But there's consequences from people when you do that. So I don't think that young Soph, while I would love to see more young people involved. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care about age. Anybody that thinks having young people in politics is going to change anything, you're just as stupid as the people who actually get into politics young and don't do anything. Why do I say that? Young people. David Burt's the youngest premier we've ever had. What the hell did that do for young people? Get the idea of age when it comes to politics. It's not about age. It's about mindset.
Right.
Seriously. I don't care about young people in politics, nor do I care about old people in politics. What I care about is the right people based on what I believe makes a good political candidate. And I agree with people. We want integrity. We want honesty. We want people who are there to serve people, not their own interests. I don't care if they're 25, 35, or 75. The mindset is everything. Forget age. Seriously. The more we think about age, the more we're going to have more of the same. Again, David Burt, the youngest premier Bermuda's ever had. How's that working out for you?
I'm sure it's time for Maya.
Yeah, let's bring in Maya. We've got a good guest coming up. We've got Camille Creary. We're talking about the second part of this series, folks. We're looking forward to this conversation. But let's bring Maya Palacio in. It's her turn.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour Newsbreak brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Hello, Maya. How are you?
I'm good. I always like a little conversation about politics.
Well, I mean, you can answer this question. If I asked a civil servant 10 years ago, what are they looking for in a political candidate? They would tell me silently, but not publicly because they can't speak about politics. Publicly, they would tell me, right? Which I think is silly because you vote. But do you think that's a fair question a journalist could answer publicly? what do they look for in a political candidate, or you think it's borderline?
It's towing the line a little bit, but I think, like I always tell people, like every journalist has their own biases. You could see it in what they write about, what they talk about, things like that. So sometimes it's not always noticed by themselves, unchecked biases. But I think it comes out pretty clear what a certain journalist would actually lean toward just off the type of stories that they report about.
I'm so glad you said that. It takes me back to that conversation the day Sherry almost lost it on this show. I saw it, but nobody else did. It was last year where we had up a graphic on the screen about the different U.S. medias. It was CNN, Fox, News. It was like about 12 different
BBC,
media. It wasn't just U.S. It was BBC. It was across the Western thing, and it showed which lean left, right, center, all that stuff, right? And I think Teodil used to say this all the time, and people never understood it because he had his bias, and he was very, "Oh, you're a journalist. You're not supposed to have bias." If you actually watch the news, you would actually understand the bias in everything what Maya just said. The way stories are reported, the kind of stories they cover, right? It's there for us to see.
Yeah. I literally say, I actually have it in my little signature at the end of some of my emails. It's like, make sure you're like research the journalists that you read, because that tells you a lot about who they are and what they're going to be writing about. And I'm always like clear, like I came from, a single mother household full of women. Like my stories and my opinions, how I see things is going to be different from how a white man is going to see a story. Like, we're both looking at something, we're both going to say, no, this is this. And he's going to be like, no, that's not what I got from it. It's this. Like, what we cover, we're all going to see it differently.
Interesting. There you have it, folks. There you have it. All right, Maya, what you got in the news for us?
Well, in the news this morning for you guys, well, I know we're still talking about Sophia, and I believe her last name is pronounced Tessitore. I just did a quick search, and it was like Tessitore because it's Italian. But so that's that about that. And also saying that I think it's interesting to see her stepping into this role, and I'm encouraged to see where her career path goes with taking up this candidacy. As for the news this morning, the Bermuda Police Service is appealing for the public's assistance because unfortunately we have another person who is missing, 60-year-old Eugene Anderson. Mr. Anderson is described as brown complexion, 5 feet 9 inches tall. You see his image right there. He's medium build with short gray hair and gray facial stubble. His last appearance was in Devonshire area yesterday, Tuesday morning. Police officers are currently attempting to locate Mr. Anderson, who is likely traveling on foot, and encourage any members of the public with relevant information to assist and call 211 if you know the whereabouts of 60-year-old Eugene Anderson.
Yeah, folks, Bermuda's small. Help him out. We found another person recently, just yesterday or day before. So if you see him, just make a call.
Exactly. And coming up next on the news, well, we really need to take it easy on these roads, guys, because there's another traffic collision that happened yesterday around 10:10 p.m. A report of a single vehicle car crash occurred in the Middle Road area. Apparently, the car involved struck a wall near the Paget Post Office, injuring the driver. The driver's injuries are unknown at this time. And when the first responders did arrive on the scene, the person was conscious. So that's a good, just a good outlook right there.
Tamara, when she reported yesterday, it was Barbados and Jamaica, right, Sherry? Or Trinidad? Yeah, she spoke about road fatalities.
Yeah.
It just seems like a regional issue, and I'm wondering if there's something we can do education-wise. Now, just transparent, we are in talks to do something with the Road Safety Council. I'm going to be honest. I think Maya's presence on this show has inspired me personally to want to take this one more seriously and see if there's anything we can do. And we know that the majority of accidents or people who are impacted by them are probably not watching this show, but you know someone who is. We know people, and Bermuda's community is so small. But again, it comes back to mindset, folks, cultural mindset. We in Bermuda, we have a tendency. Where do we usually go after work? To a bar. What do we do on Fridays? Happy hour. What do we tend to do after that? Right. Like culturally, we've got to change something. We cannot always say, oh, why the police out here doing this? Why the police doing that? The police are actually trying to help your asses. That's why they tell you where they're going to be, so that you can change your behavior. If you know that, don't just say, oh, I'm going to go here and drink and do bad behavior because they're going to be there. They're trying to help you. I mean, it weren't that easy back in the day, folks. Let's do better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And although I don't like, not that I don't like the phrase like public responsibility, but I also think like as a community we could help each other. Like I say every single time I see someone without the helmet buckle, I'm like, buckle that helmet, buckle your helmet. Like I am that constant. I feel like I'm that auntie now. Like anytime you see me, I'm gonna talk to you and tell you like to buckle your helmet. Like so that's yeah, we really need to get our road fatalities and collisions just under control on this island and everywhere worldwide.
Indeed, I agree.
So upcoming in the next news, yesterday on my Media Maya platform, I actually had a conversation about how Bermudians show love, or actually like the lack of love that we kind of show to each other. Mainly this came from a conversation I had with a friend about how I rarely see any PDA in Bermuda, like no public displays of affection, no holding hands or nothing. And then I started talking to older friends and I was like, why do you think that is? And we started thinking about when we were kids and how like fearful it might be to be walking in town with someone you like, someone seeing you guys and running it back and telling your family or whatever without you even getting the opportunity to tell your parents. So I asked this question on my platform yesterday. So I think we have a screenshot here. Yeah. So why don't Bermudians show public displays of affection? A couple people had their responses here, as you can read. I'll read out a couple of them. It says, it's weird. I think it's partly because back in the day, they hid a lot of their feelings, movements and kids. Bermudians are stush. We live in a closed, closeted society, and so on and so forth. Toxic masculinity plays a part. Unpopular considerations, but black tax plays a part. Don't let others see you be vulnerable. I have another poll actually here. It was quite an interesting discussion. So this over 200 people have voted. I put this up last night, so still a lot more voting to go. But growing up in Bermuda, if you happen to be walking with someone after school and you were scared of being noticed, was that an issue for you? And then a lot of people voted yes. And I asked people, do you hold hands with your significant others? And again, over 200 voters. And the margin is really close there. So a lot of people tend not to hold their hands with a significant other. And then the last one was how many times have you actually seen a couple holding hands? And obviously the highest was maybe once or twice.
Really? That is so interesting. Jamal falls in which part do you fall in?
Well, hugging me, but see, for me, I couldn't explain it. I've told you guys, like I grew up in a household. So I'm gonna put Keith on the spot. Keith is one of my partners for Bermuda Communications Group, right? So we were in graduate school together. So one day she done something to me, and I was like, "Come here, Keith." She's like, "What?" She's in classroom. I was like, "I want to give you a hug. I wanted to pinch her because she did something to me." So she's like, "No, you can love me without hugging me. I don't hug my parents."
I hugged Keitha,
and I think she's come away. But truthfully, I came from a household where love was expressed differently. Like, oh, your family took, their love was not always affection, but it was making sure you did this or they took care of that or whatnot. And, one of my closest friends came from a house where it was all about hugging and all that. And when his girlfriend, like, he saw, like, you don't hug your mama, it was abnormal to him. I'm like, but remember, I didn't come up like that, hugging, whatever. So for me, it's just the way I came up. We didn't express love by touching and hugging like that. That's
holding hands.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
You
need a hug. Bring it in. Bring it in, Jamal. You need a hug.
But I love you guys without having to touch you.
Oh, you're gonna hug me.
Huh?
My question is about your significant other though. Do you hold hands with your wife?
Yeah, she holds hands with me.
Shari leaned in real quick. Okay, yeah, because a lot of the conversations about
she'll tell you that's her storytelling. But I mean, it's not something new. I just it's I don't think it has anything to do with public perception. It's just, to me, it's the way people grow up.
Right. I don't look at it as public. I don't look at it as public perception. I look at what, of course, is you're comfortable with, and like you said, kind of how you were raised. My dad would be like, "Give me your hand," and even when I was a grown adult, like wanting to hold my hand. So my significant other, yeah, he holds my hand. Sometimes it's out of a joke, and you're like gripping my wrist, talking about, "I know this is how your mama used to walk with you." But he will, like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hold on. Audience. Are you big PDA? I gotta ask the audience. Are you all big into PDA? Let us know. Are you
Can we specify? Right. Sorry, I was gonna say, can we specify that hand holding? Because PDA people.
What gotta run? Maya, what
Okay.
else?
I know, yeah. So my final thing on the
Sorry.
news for today is, in other news, local fishermen will be making themselves heard on Thursday, November 24th, at Spanish Point Boat Club at 1 p.m. The Fishermen's Association of Bermuda will hold a press statement regarding the ongoing Blue Ocean Prosperity Plan initiative by the Bermuda government. The press statement will relate to the government's plan to restrict Bermuda's waters, and they have a belief that this will have a negative impact on Bermudians and their livelihood altogether.
Interesting. And I'm looking forward to learning more about that because I'm interested to see who fishing licenses are going to nowadays. And that's a whole thing. And thank you for bringing that, Maya. I'd love to have a conversation with someone in the fishing community, or if you can get someone just to hear directly from them. Sherry, well, we've got the weather, right?
Yes, and the weather for today, do it every time now, I swear, it's like in my bones. Okay, so it is looking really cloudy right now, and that's exactly what it says in my report. Cloudy thickening, some rainy showers developing later in the day, and we have a high of 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which I feel like saying is now a low for us because we're getting into those chilly, nippy weathers.
Yeah.
Chilly, nippy.
It's nippy. Sherry, about 40-something where you are in Atlanta?
34.
Yeah. See, we don't get that down in South Florida. Down here, we don't get like that. What you got days of the year, Sherry?
Well, I don't even want to say this now, right? So Thanksgiving is celebrated tomorrow in the US, but this is also celebrated the night before Thanksgiving, and it's Drinksgiving, which Bermudians probably celebrate all year round.
Yeah.
But it's the ultimate homecoming celebration. Local bars are packed as adults return home for Thanksgiving weekend, meet up with friends and family, and catch up over drinks and laughter. Now, this can be done with non-alcoholic beverages, and the premise, of course, is togetherness. But if you're going to drink, please remember to drink responsibly. Assign someone to be a designated driver, and if your driver is drinking, well, please call a friend, a family, or a taxi.
That last part, folks. That last part. All right.
When you were saying what you're saying, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, that last part, she said it, folks. Real quickly before we take a break, caller John says, no PDAs here. Shika Rana says, I'll handhold unless it's too hot out. I like that.
Yeah.
Always too hot out. We're in South Florida. Karen Simmons says, I hold my husband's hand. And then Rosalind Famous rounds it out. She says, living in PR, Puerto Rico, definitely has highlighted how little PDA we show in Bermuda could just be our culture. I think it's culture.
A lot of it had to do with the small town culture as well. That was a big thing explained. And a lot of people saying that they never saw that in their family homes growing up as well.
That part.
I mean, I don't think my family loved me any less. I mean, even like the part about telling people you love me, it's to me, it's a thing of acting, it's not about just telling to me, it's about feeling. So I don't know. I think that's a tight one of judgment, but I'm so happy, Maya, that you were still doing stuff like that because I think the responses give us something to think about. So thank you for that. And I just wish I was on Instagram more to kind of know when you're doing this stuff. So can you please just send me a WhatsApp? Be like, hey.
Okay.
You all know me. Like, I'm trying.
You still head there now to vote. The voting's still up. It hasn't been 24 hours yet.
Got over to Media, Maya. Put your vote in. Maya, thank you so much. Enjoy your day off, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, happy yes, day.
All right, see you soon, Maya. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back. If you've appreciated the discussion this morning, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to take a quick break, come back with Camille Creary, and we're talking about the second part of this series that the Bermuda College is holding, Murder in Paradise. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
She wanted to raise the next big thing in softball. So she got me a leather glove, an authentic leather glove. I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and she would take me out back and throw the ball at me, at which point we realized that it was hitting other parts of my body other than my glove. And I couldn't throw, I couldn't catch, I was not good at hitting the ball. So she was like, listen, I can't raise an unathletic child. So we got to find something you can do.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Don't forget to sign up for our membership. Just hit the join button on YouTube to become an official member of our channel. We are going to be having some fun things very soon, and you don't want to miss out on them. Real quickly, you all are funny in the comments. Carla, John, and Rosalind talking about it's too hot for PDA, but I see what excuses you're running with. We're going to do a giveaway at the end of this show, so stick around. We'll do a giveaway. Maybe, yeah, we'll do something, a gift card to People's Pharmacy. So do not go anywhere. We'll do a giveaway after this conversation. But without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. We've got Camille Creary coming into the conversation, and we're talking about Murder in Paradise. Give her a warm TDH welcome, folks. All right,
good morning. Morning.
Hi, Camille.
Hi, Sherry.
Boy, they love you in the audience. You know Sherry?
Yes, we were co-workers.
Nice. So okay, never mind. Let's keep it positive here, Jamal. First off, since you were Sherry's co-worker, I think it's only right you give us an idea of who you are and you know a bit about your background, what you do, and hopefully it's not the same as Sherry.
It is.
Okay. So, good morning, Bermuda. My name is Camille Creary. I first and foremost was raised from a babe in Bermuda, St. George's to be specific. I have to always preface that because people hear me talking and they're like, are you really Bermudian? Yes, I am. I graduated from Bermuda High School for girls and went to Spelman College for undergrad. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in sociology. And then I went ahead to grad school at Florida State University and got a double master's, one in clinical social work and the other in criminology. So in coming back to Bermuda, my plan was to work in the judicial system, probation, in the prison, but I ended up in child protection, which is how I met Sherry. And I'm still working in child protection now.
Okay, cool. And quite a journey, child protection. And what does that include or cover? Just for those who don't know.
So child protection basically is what's the word I'm looking for? The remit of Child and Family Services to basically ensure that the children of Bermuda are safe from any level of neglect or abuse.
Good job, Camille. Good
job. Thank you.
In saying that, social work is obviously your background. How important is social work in addressing the murder crisis or socioeconomic issues involving young Black males in particular, but everyone in Bermuda?
I actually think it's extremely important because social workers, especially those who are involved in child protection, we are allowed to enter a family's environment at usually their most vulnerable. And so we interact with not only the family, but everybody that the family is involved with to kind of create a cohesive plan to address whatever challenge. And so we interact with education, we interact with any type of outside service providers, whether that's clinical or extracurricular activities. We ensure that medical appointments are attended and all the basic needs of a child are being met. But we also get a bird's eye view to some of the societal deficits that unfortunately leave some families more susceptible, more vulnerable than others.
Interesting. Obviously, all of us on this show were tuned in or present at the first part of the series panel that took place in September, which had Dr. Tyron Douglas, the judge Juan Wolf, JP, Kyron Hill, and then Quentin Sherlock. Who are some of the panelists we can expect this time around?
So this time around, those same 4 gentlemen will be hopefully available virtually to present a strategic plan that they have been working on since the last Murder in Paradise series. I will myself be giving a lecture, and then Mr. Ross McCall will also be giving a presentation based off of his experience and expertise as well. So really and then there'll be a significant period of time for question and answer, whereas last period, I think they didn't have that because they ran out of time. So really the main focus of this next Murder in Paradise series is one, to give a little bit more information, but also to allow the Bermudian public to have a voice.
Once you got ahead, that was more about the panel. But you'll get to that.
As you mentioned, you'll be on the panel for part 2, and you're going to do a lecture of Murder in Paradise series. So what will you bring differently than what previous panelists did?
So my purpose is to bring a little bit more of the education piece, because there is none of what's happening in Bermuda is new. There are theories almost 100 years old that can explain, and it really boils down to certain levels of attachment that a person has to a community. So I want to kind of run through that, give people the background information to kind of how we as a society probably got to this point, and then present some solutions or suggestions as well to help move us forward.
Interesting.
And just a little bit earlier, I was talking about, we talk about a program, we start a program, and then there's not a program. So we often have these forums with no follow-up or no plan moving forward, and it drives me crazy. So, or no plan moving forward. With the information you've gathered or presented, tell us why you believe a second edition of this series will make a difference, and more importantly, how does it provide solutions?
So I'm giving suggestions because for me, I kind of feel the same way you do, Sherry, in regards to we've had a lot of master plans presented, whether that's, from a government perspective, from a private agency perspective. But in reality, the answer doesn't lie in someone else. The answer lies in each individual Bermudian, because that's how we got to this point. So for me, I'm giving the audience action items. I'm coming in like, okay, you want to see a change? Let's maybe start here. Let's maybe try this. Us as a ground level, as a everyday Bermudian, what can you do to help assist the person next to you so that this is not a pattern for generations to come? I think that a lot of pressure has been put on the powers that be to come up with a plan and fix it. But it's just not that simple. It's a major complicated problem, and it's not a easy fix solution. There is no easy fix solution. It's going to take years. It's going to take dedication of the entire community, and it will be a process that lasts longer than any government administration, basically.
Yeah. We talk about lifestyle change and mindset change, and I think that's what it is. And those things take a lot longer to see. Not a lot longer, but results can be just a little bit slower. But in speaking of your panel and where we were last time you had a few imprisoned gentlemen share their stories. How impactful do you believe their testimonies are and are they making a difference?
I believe that their testimonies were extremely powerful. For me, those are the voices that we need to hear the most.
Yeah.
Because those are the voices that I think have been ignored the most, which is why, we as a society are in the position that we are in. I do think that the solution comes from within the problem. These young men, older men are the only ones who fully understand and know what it's like to be in this subculture. And so their voices are the most important voices in finding the solution to the problem. What is needed is for people like the people who put together Murder in Paradise to actually reach back and listen to them. And so I am definitely grateful to be a part of that process as well.
Yeah. I like what you said. I mean, those are the voices that we need to hear. These are the people who have been involved in what's taken place, and I don't want people to miss that point that you made. That you need to emphasize that. Go ahead, Sherry. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that's the most important. A lot of, I think, being able to reach males or reach this generation is for other older generations. And technically, not that ill, but be able to tell the stories and how they were able to move from one point to another. How can people be interested about learning more about Murders in Paradise?
So they can definitely view the flyer on Bermuda College website and social media, and definitely come out. I know that if you are not able to come out, that it will be streamed on YouTube and Facebook. And so if you have any questions, I would suggest to contact someone either via social media or send an email. If you're not able to be there in person and you want to maybe have a follow-up question, I know that people were looking for feedback after the first panel discussion. And I believe that there was an email provided at the end. So if you're watching virtually, look out for a potential email for, any follow-up questions if you're not there in person to ask questions. I'm not sure if they'll be able to call out the questions from the virtual viewings right at that time.
Indeed. Honestly, I like what is happening here. I think the first one was very much impactful. Everyone brought a different feel, different perspective. I know Kadre Hill had a very impactful space.
It was very powerful.
His testimony stuck with many people, and I think he went last, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure. Second last. And I don't know. He was just. This is not to say the others, because all of them were impactful, but it was so memorable. I think it helped that the Royal Gazette, you put him on the front page as well. And if you didn't tune into it, I believe it's still available on Bermuda Colleges.
Yes. So it's also on YouTube. Yeah. So I believe like over 3,000 people have viewed it so far. So people are continuing to watch, and I hope that means that more people will come for the follow-up conversation, because like I said, that is the space where we hope to hear more from the community. Being that there was 4 speakers last time, we just ran out of time.
And I want to go back to one of the first questions we asked about the impact of social workers in dealing with this. I think there's so many people I know who get into social work, and I think it's so broad, right? It's broad. I didn't realize it until, like, obviously my sister's in that space, but I mean, you've got disabilities, you've got child and family. It can go so broad, but medical. There you go. Obviously, I don't know. I'm all. This is you guys, but just speak to the this is one of the most difficult parts of social work, right? I would think. I guess the role that you play. What's required on your part to do it consistently?
To do it consistently, self-care, a lot of self-care. But I would say that one of the most important things that you have to have is empathy, and a level of humbleness, because you are coming into someone's life. right? And like I said previously, usually at their most vulnerable, usually when, it's embarrassing for someone to, have a stranger oftentimes come into their space, give directive on what they should be doing. And so as the social worker, you have to always be cognizant and mindful of that. Your job is not to, come in and wreak havoc, but to empower. And I think that, once you empower someone, it's almost like, give a person a fish and they'll eat for a day, teach them how to fish and they'll eat for a lifetime. It's that same principle, right? You're not coming in to just fix everything and tell them how to do it. You're coming in to empower them and teach them to do stuff for themselves. So that's what I would say is definitely the most important.
And reserving judgment. That is the biggest thing. You have to reserve judgment on what is going on in somebody's household and see where you can help fix the cracks and build a foundation for a family to prosper.
Yeah. Just remind people when it takes place and again, how they can be a part of it.
Yeah, so it takes place on November 29th at 6 p.m. Bermuda College, North Hall Lecture Theater G301. The moderator will be Victoria Pearman, the former ombudsman, and it will be from 6 to 9:30 p.m.
Okay. 3.5 hours of your time, folks. Let's do it. There's no World Cup games on at that time. I'm just saying. Camille, thank you so much for doing this. And we're looking forward to virtually attending and being a part of this conversation.
Nice to see you, Camille.
Thank you. Nice to see you too, Sherry.
All right. Camille Creary, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Again, if the second part of this series is anything like the first, it's going to be an impactful conversation. And I love what she said about the question and answer period. More voices, more conversation. So I'll be in attendance virtually as long as I possibly can. If you have any questions, please reach out to them. And I like the fact that it's going to be online again. Do not go anywhere. We're going to do a giveaway. But like I said, if you appreciate the conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to come back after this break and do a giveaway. And it's the Sherry Play, folks.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
There's no such thing as brave people, just regular people who make brave choices. So being brave is a choice that you can wake up every single morning and make. And if you make that choice to be brave and to follow those dreams, it will change your life in ways unimaginable. And that's not just in sport, that's in life.
All righty, welcome back. Thanks again to Camille Creary for today's conversation. Again, if you appreciated the conversation information, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Folks, also, we will be doing a giveaway after the Daily Play. Thanks again to One Communications, People Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindo's. I was just looking to the left, just making sure the game didn't start. Jerry talking so long this morning. Time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0, Great Taste, No Alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram,
Still fingers,
and Twitter. to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
I am.
All right, help her out, folks. She might not know the answer to this one. Actually, no, Sherry's old. She might know it. All right, here we go. What Catwoman recorded Santa Baby in 1953?
Marilyn Monroe. Catwoman. Oh, Arthur Kitt.
Woo!
Oh. That was the illness in me.
Yeah, that's a 6. You hit a 6. Hey, look, boy, that's a good one. She got it, folks. I did say she might get it because she's old, right?
That's all right.
That kid, she got it. And in fairness, Joanne tried to Yeah. Karen says, "Well done, Sherry. My fingers couldn't type fast enough." I'm honestly, fuck, I'm happy. Like I got it right. Nah, I thought she would.
Listen, Marilyn popped in my head, and then all of a sudden I saw dimples, and then I'm like, Arthur Kitt.
Arthur Kitt, it was, folks. All right, folks, we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna give a gift card to People's Pharmacy, right? So the hashtag is the Daily Hour. Hashtag the Daily Hour for a chance to win today's giveaway. It's going to be a gift card to People's Pharmacy that we're giving away. Sherry, let's wrap it up though. What are your final thoughts on this morning's discussion? What you look for in a political candidate and the focus with Camille Creary?
As I mentioned before, like what you look for in a candidate is definitely someone who can be, you want to say silent but deadly, right? Moves very silent but can give deadly results without it having to be on such a big stage. So I look for character, values, action, and something that doesn't need to be plastered all over social media, but you notice the movements and changes within the community through this person. The same thing with Murders in Paradise. We have a form that is trying to move into a positive direction with our young Black males and providing a forum to help us know and learn much more about, as Camille said, this subculture that is going on, and just finding ways to best address it and hopefully, I don't want to say fix the problem, but fix the problem. You know what I mean, Jamal?
No, I feel you. I think as far as the political candidate, folks, if you're going to put yourself out there, be more like Sherry. Help people because you want to help them. And if the day comes where you think you want to help a greater number of people in a political space, then let the work and the people who have benefited from your work speak for you. That way, people already know you through the community. I can name a number of people in the community that don't have to tell you the work that they've done, but they'll get your vote already. They will.
Yeah.
And so it's not all about doing something for recognition or telling people, Google my name. Sometimes it's about taking up the toughest cause, right? And whether you like people or not, there are people you can name who have done, like I named all those young ladies in Bermuda Youth Connect. They're taking on a cause, right? Causes, right? Ryan Robinson, Parent Chief, putting themselves out there. They're young people who are doing it, where you know their names. I just had a conversation with Katora Horton, Parent Chief, the other night. She's an activist. She comes from a very powerful political family, but she's an activist, but also using her platform to give back by teaching other young people her trade. That's someone where they don't have to tell me, Google them.
Right.
Because we already feel the impact of the work that they're doing. All right. So as far as Camille Creary, again, congratulations to all involved in the Murder in Paradise series for keeping it going. I think it's necessary. I know people get tired of talking, but truthfully, talking is a form of action when the focus and the goals and there's set goals, there's a focus, and we're working towards something. So I'm actually looking forward to hearing the plans that the gentlemen who were a part of the first panel have come up with, because she said that they had some things they working on that they're going to share. So I'm looking forward to that. It's time for the giveaway though, Sherry. Let's do the giveaway.
Okay.
Inspiration. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's see who's going to be today's big winner. Here we go. All right, big money. No Sherry's. I mean, Remus, sorry.
Sherry's on the money today.
Yeah. Showing that bell. You got it. Congratulations to you. All right, 6 runs. All right, bum. All right, they're going crazy for you. No, congratulations to Showing that bell.
Lovely.
Please send us an email, engage at thedailyhour.com to collect your gift certificate to People's Pharmacy. Sherry, you've got any daily inspiration for us?
Yeah. The joy of giving is the greatest joy of life. And that's from an unknown author.
I love that. Well, folks, there is no live show tomorrow on Thursday. What's the date tomorrow? The 24th. The following day, the 25th, we'll be back live on Monday. But we'll have a lot going on our social media. So have some fun with our social media. We will be back live on Monday. What's the date on Monday, Sherry?
The 28th.
The 28th. See, this is what she's here for. You know what else. Sherry, until then, I'll miss you.
I felt like that was sincere. I felt like you held my hand just now.
Okay, thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Linda's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, folks, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. So it's got to go too far. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hart, and my friends, make it a safe and a great long weekend. See you later, Sherry. Don't burn your house down if you're cooking.